If you tell your child to stop running and they immediately sprint faster, and you think they are just being defiant, think again. This is actually a biological red flag called inhibitory control delay. Essentially, their developing brain hears the action word, run, but misses the word don't, giving them a second wind of manic energy exactly when you want them to calm down. If you want to learn the specific phrases that bypass this processing error and actually get your child to listen, keep watching. We have all been there. You are in the grocery store. Your child is reaching for a glass jar and you shout, "Don't drop that." Smash. It is the most frustrating loop in parenting. You repeat yourself, you get louder, and they seem to listen less. But here's the science. When a child is under 5, their prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for impulse control, is still under major construction. When you use negative commands, you are asking their brain to do 2 complex tasks at once. First, visualize the action of dropping the jar, and second, inhibit that action. Their brains often get stuck on step 1. Today, we are fixing this. We are going to cover a simple framework called positive action language that works with their biology, not against it. Let's dig into why this happens. It is not just about them ignoring you. It is about how the human brain processes language under stress. When you say stop jumping, the child's brain has to process the concept of jumping before it can process the command to stop. This is the pink elephant paradox. If I tell you right now, do not think of a pink elephant, what is the first thing popping into your head? A pink elephant. For a toddler or preschooler with an immature logical brain, this effect is 10 times stronger. You say don't hit, and their brain floods with the image of hitting. We are essentially giving them a subconscious command to do the exact thing we are trying to avoid. Plus, when we yell no or stop constantly, we trigger their fight or flight response. This causes a cortisol spike that shuts down their learning center. So not only are they visualizing the bad behavior, but their ability to process your logic has also just left the building. The solution isn't just being nicer, it is being more neurologically efficient. We need to switch to positive action language. This means telling the brain exactly what to do, rather than what not to do. It cuts out that middle step of processing the negative. Instead of asking them to inhibit an impulse, you are giving them a new mission. This works because toddlers are action-oriented creatures. Their dopamine systems are wired for doing, not stopping. When you give a positive instruction, you are riding that wave of energy rather than trying to build a dam against it. Here is a relatable parent question we get a lot. Does this mean I can never say no? Won't they become spoiled? The answer is no. You establish boundaries by telling them what is acceptable. No is an abstract concept. Feet on the floor is a concrete instruction. We are moving from vague to concrete. Let's go through the most common triggers and swap them for phrases that actually work. First, the running scenario. Instead of yelling "don't run," which highlights the running, try walking feet. You are giving their brain a clear image of what their feet should be doing. Second, the noise. If they are screaming, stop yelling usually just adds more noise to the chaos. Try whisper voice or mouse voice. You will often see them physically shrink down and quiet their tone because they are mimicking the creature or the concept you just gave them. Third, the danger zone. We love to yell, "Be careful," but "be careful" is too vague for a child. What does careful look like? Instead, give specific data. Say, "Watch your feet" or "hold the rail." You are directing their focus to the specific body part or object that keeps them safe. Here is a massive insight for you. It takes the average child's brain about 12 seconds to process a new command. Most parents repeat themselves after 3 seconds. By the time the child is processing the first command, you have already overwritten it with a second and third, leading to auditory overload. Say it once, make eye contact, and wait. This is a big one. Stop crying. When we say this, we are often trying to stop our own discomfort. But for the child, this invalidates their biological reality. Crying is a mechanism to release stress hormones. If you order them to stop, you are asking them to bottle up that cortisol. This often leads to a bigger explosion later, essentially a delayed emotional detonation. Instead of "stop crying," try "I can see you are upset." Then, offer a physical bridge. Do you need a hug or some space? This shifts their brain from the emotional center back to the thinking center because they have to make a choice. You are helping them regulate their own biology rather than trying to command it into submission. Even with these phrases, there are traps. The biggest mistake is over-explaining. If your toddler is having a meltdown because you cut their toast wrong, that is not the time for a lecture on gratitude or food waste. Their rational brain is offline. Keep your words short. Toast is done. You are mad. That is it. Validate the feeling, hold the boundary, and move on. Another mistake is phrasing commands as questions. Can we put on our shoes now? If you ask a toddler a yes or no question, and the answer you want is yes, do not give them the option to say no. They will say no. It is their favorite word. Instead of asking, use a statement with a choice. It is time to go. Do you want to put on the red shoes or the blue shoes? You give them autonomy over the method, but the goal is non-negotiable. Here is another parent question. What if I use the right phrase and they still do you and listen? This is where consistency beats intensity. If you say walking feet and they run, you stop them and say, we walk inside. Show me walking feet. You might have to do this 10 times. You are building a neural pathway. It is like hacking a path through a jungle. You have to walk it many times before it becomes a road. Changing your language is not about being a perfect parent. It is about being a smart one. You are essentially acting as your child's external prefrontal cortex until theirs grows in. It takes practice. You will slip up and say don't and stop, and that is okay. But every time you switch to a positive action phrase, you are helping wire their brain for If you want to spot the subtle signs of the sleep window before it closes or learn more about how biology drives behavior, check out the full playlist linked on screen and subscribe for more healthy child habits.